Hey fellas, welcome back. In the previous video, I had shown you a few websites that from where we can get particular libraries for Proteus when we need them, which are not present in Proteus by default, of course. So I had shown you that I had made a few devices myself, the DC Jack, the Nano, the Node MCU. So in order to explain how we can make a device and the PCB layout in Proteus itself, I thought we can choose something a bit complex, not too complex, but at least a controller. So we have chose the Node MCU controller. So Node MCU is basically a controller which supports Arduino and has inbuilt Wi-Fi. We can study more about Node MCU in the upcoming lectures that will be about the microcontrollers. So first of all, instead of checking on the device that I have made, we'll check on the actual Node MCU pin configurations. So the Node MCU has 30 pins in total, 15 on the left and 15 on the right. So in order to make a component like this, first of all I will change the snap to 0.1 so that I can place the pins easily. Then in order to make a component, I will go to 2D graphics box mode. After I select 2D graphics box mode, I make a box large enough to place the 15 pins. Then after I have made the box, I can go to the device pins mode and select the default pin. And then I start placing the pins one by one. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So I just need to increase the size over here. This much is okay. So if you can see closely, these pins have a cross over here. So what does this cross indicate? Now if I hover my cursor on this pin over here, we can see a red dot. From here we can remove the wires, right? So this red dot is what this cross indicates. If you keep it inside, you will have to place a wire from the inside. So keep it always outside of the component. So the similar pins that we have placed over here, we can place on the right side too. I'll just copy to clipboard and paste from clipboard. Now I'll have to mirror them so that, yeah, so this is done. We have a 30 pin component. Now we have to define each pin. Now to define each pin, what we can do is we can right click on the pin, go to edit properties, go to default pin number and press 1 and give the pin name whatever is labeled in the image. So we have A0. Now A0 is a bidirectional pin, so we'll select this as bidirectional as IO pin. We have options as passive, input pin, output pin, pull down, pull up, and so on. So we'll give the name. Well, instead of clicking on OK, I will click on next. So this next pin is selected, and I can give the name as pin number as 2, then the name as G. Even this is the IO pin. I will keep it IO by default, and once I click on OK, you can see the naming has occurred over here. We have the pin numbers above the pin and the names inside the component. So in similar way, I will name all the other pins too. So I'll just right click, give the pin number as 3, and this pin is VU, then next, and so I will carry on. So after we have named all the pins, what we can do is we can after we have named all the pins, all we have to do is we can name the component. Like right now I have to name it as I have to name the component as node MCU v3, so I will write the name as node MCU v3. So that's the name of the component. I will click on OK, and we have the component name. Now if I want to change the size, I can just right click on it. I can change the size, say 0.2 inch, and it's too big, but let me make it 0.15. That looks good. So I'll place the name over here. You can also write your other name and so on. So after we have made a component, I will just go to the cursor mode, the selection mode. I will select the component, and then we have this icon over here as make device. I can either click on that, or I can go to library and make device. So I'll just make device. So I will have the option as making a device where one or more pins have the same name when a netlist is produced. So this warning has occurred because I have the names as G repeated. The ground pins I have repeated them, so that's why I have this. Also, I will click on OK. So I will give the device name as say NMCU1 and reference prefix as um, say node. So after this is done, I can add any module files or so on. I just click on next. So there are no PCB packaging defined for this device. So this is the part where I have to add a PCB package. So right now I have made no package especially for this component. So I can just add a previous package that I had made over here. I can click on node, and here we have the package that we had made for node MCU. I can add that, and we have the pins on the package named same as the pins that we have named on the part. So I will assign this package. I'll click on next. Then we have some definitions that needs to be done, the properties. So I'll click on next again. Then if you have some data sheets, you can add them over here. Click on next. Here I have the device category, so I will put it in Arduino, and all my devices that I have made, I have placed it in this file. So this under Arduino we have subcategories too. So I think I must keep this as a connector and keep it as miscellaneous. You can add device manufacturer if needed. You click on OK, and then your part is done. All you have to do is you have to go to the name of the component that you have made, say NMCU1, and here you have your part made. So this is how you make a particular part in Proteus. So in the next video we'll see how we can make a layout, a PCB layout of the part that we have made right now in the schematic. So for us, stay tuned.